So today we are discussing top 10 JavaScript methods, which I will show you one by one with examples. So here is the complete list. We have all these methods which we are gonna see with examples, and these are some new methods which I will also show you, which I introduced in 2023. So let's get started. And the first one I would go for the filter method. And what it takes is that a callback, like if you want to find the example people with John, and if I'm gonna remove it, so let's say we need to find the John. Basically, we need to filter this array. We have this array people. It has John, Jane, Bob, and Alice, and we are gonna filter all just John from them. For example, if there are two John, let's add actually two John. For the sake of example, let's add two John. So we need to find all the Johns in there. Okay, so this is how we make the condition. Basically, this is a person which will be called for every key, and let's see what is the output. So as you can see, we have two output here, like John and John. So this is basically finding all the method. All the John. And let's say if we need to find all the people with the J letter, so what we can do is that let's say people with J equal to, we have this. I am also using the AI assistant in case you guys don't know this. It is called Whisperer, and it is free from Amazon. So I would recommend to check it out, and I think I would make a separate video for this. And so let's see what is the output. And as you can see, we have John, Jane, and John again, because they have the J letter in front of them, all three of them. So this is how the filter method works, which is the widely used function in all JavaScript or TypeScript. So let's say the other method we have is find method. So let's say we need to find the person called Bob. So what we can do here is, instead this, we would say find equal to, let's say call it P. So this P is actually, again, this is a callback. This is basically every person or a string in this case. So let's say we need to find the Bob, and let's print this. So we have the Bob here. So notice we don't have array anymore. So basically it is finding one value from inside the array. So this is how it actually works, the find method. And in case if there are two duplicates, then it will always return the first result. So in our case, if we have two John, then it will only return the first John. Okay, so that's how the find method works. You won't find two John. This will never return. This either return an undefined value or a result, right? So this is the find method, and that's how it works. And the third method is we have the plat method. This is lesser known to people, but it is very helpful in case if you have dynamic array. So I would just copy this first. Let's say we have, so let's see what is the result. So you would see the result is exactly the same. There is nothing different here, right? There is nothing different here because this is a single dimensional array. In case if it's a two-dimensional array, for example, let's remove the cons for now. And I would copy this, and I would say John 1, Jane 1, John 2, John Bob 1, Alice 1. And let's see what is the result here. I would just print it first without the flat array. And if you see, we have two different arrays inside it. This is basically a parent array, and we have basically this is a nested array. So we have two new array items within the parent array. So in this case, in case if we want all these values, we want them to iterate, we would use the flat method. So if you see the output now, it is basically the combining the two arrays automatically. So anything you would find here, it would just combine everything into a single array. So that's how the flat method works. So another method we have is called a from method. This is not really directly a array method, but instead it is a array prototype. So for example, if you do this, I would actually give you this example first. So let's say we need to find some element. So if you see here, this is the array. This is not really an array. This document query selector or everything, this always return on node list, because all this inside the HTML element is the node. They are not like a item of the array. This is not an array. This is a node list. So for example, if you see this, and now if you just try to see it methods, you will realize it doesn't have methods for array. It does have few of them, but this is not the array. Like it doesn't have all this 20 to 30 method which array have. So the problem is you can, for example, you can use a map method. So it is saying undefined because there is no map method inside the node list. So in this case, what you can do is that instead we can make it like this. So if you need array instead of a node list, then you will do this. And let's see what we are getting now. So now you will see we are getting an array. We are no longer getting a node list. So again, if you do this, and if you try to see the method, you will see we have all the array methods here inside it. So basically, this has been converted into array. This is no longer a list. So array.from is very helpful in this case, or such cases in case you want to convert it into an array. So the another method which we have is called the include method, and basically it's a search kind of method and can look inside the array in case if you need to find some value. It does work like a find method, but this is usually helpful in string cases. So let's suppose if we need to find. So it always return a Boolean value. It always return a Boolean value. It doesn't involve like this find method always return a value which is fine, but the include method return a Boolean always. It's either true or false. So for example, let's just say it is saying false. If you see here, like it is saying false because we are using the people to array and it doesn't have John, right? Because this is multi-dimensional array and we need to flat it either first, or for the sake of example, I would use this first. Even if you realize, you will see this is string is not assigned with type string array. So that I would recommend for you guys to use the TypeScript after learning a JavaScript. And this is a people array for the sake of example. And now you would see this. It is saying true because we have the John array inside this, right? So that's how the include method works. And the other method we have is the map method, which is the most widely used method the JavaScript in case you want to mutate the original array. For example, we have, let's say, we need to add one we need to append one in for every name. So we will do this way. We will use this equal dot map, and again we are gonna pass a callback here. And what we are gonna do here is this. So if you see here, we are basically we are returning a string, and we are appending one for each name. So if I write this more clearly, so for the sake of example, if I just do this with one, so you will see we still have the same result, right? So we have still the same result. What's happening here is that we are passing a callback here, and this is a P or a name returning for every callback, and this is the name. Basically, we are appending one here. We are returning that value. So whatever you return here will be originally change the replacement with the original value. So that's how this method works. And the other method we have is of. This is again not directly a method of array, but instead of a prototype. So what it is there in case if you need to create more. So for the sake of example, let's say, oh, John. Okay, this is the lesser known method again, which is not widely used, but it can have a lot of method in case if you are implementing in case if you have some custom implementation. So let's say post array equal to array. Now you will see we have this John. Okay. What it's doing is that basically whatever you pass the parameter here, it will create the array for it. So it's more like a list. It will create the list from the parameters. So whatever you pass, it can be any value. So it can be anything. Then it will create the array for you from those parameters. So the another method we have is the reverse method, and it does it like what the name suggesting. It does reverse the array. So we have this people array, and what I'm gonna do is that I would just directly reverse it. I'm using our latest TypeScript which doesn't have this method for the reverse, but there are two methods introduced in 2023 my script, and which is the to reverse and also the to slice. The original basically what happening with the if you use this only the reverse method, it does work. So let's for the sake, let me just run it. So you will see the array is reversed now. The John has come to the last and the Alice has come to the front. It is basically reversing the array. But the problem is it actually muted the original array. So if I go do this, you will see the array is still reversed. Basically, we don't have a new variable, but it is still mutating the original array. So in case there are many times we don't need to mutate the original array. So instead, what we can do is that we can use this method, which is introduced in latest version of the JavaScript, and you will realize then original array is not gonna mutate it. So I am printing this people array again instead of this, and then you will see the original array is not mutated to the reverse. So this is the 2 and the ed at the end. It is basically not mutating the original array. So the other method we have is the sort method. It's basically like again what its name suggests. And let's see. This is also work with the like reverse. It does have two variants. It is two sorted and it has a sort version as well, which mutates the original ones. But in this case, for now, I would be using this two sorted method. And this is the people array. And let's see what is the output. Like you can see, it has been sorted So if you see here, it has been sorted with the in ascending order. Alice, Bob, Jane, John, John. So again, this is how it works. Like it name suggests, in case if you need to have complex sorting, then it also takes a callback. Like if you see this, I would actually do this in this case. People, descending order. So now we have the in sorting order. So this does take callback, and this is either the first value and the second, and it goes on until the last. So you can compare the values and either you return a true or a false in this callback. So you can create complex sorting algorithm with this, and it does work. It is very helpful. And it is widely used function across the JavaScript and TypeScript. So the last method we have is the with method, which is basically like, for example, I would give you this example. Let's say we need to create, we need to change some value in this people. I need to change the name of this. So what we originally do is that we would do this. Let's say Jenny. I would remove this for now because this is a const property and I can't originally alter it in the TypeScript. So anyways, we have this and I would print this. So you are saying we are replacing the Jenny with the John at 0 index. The problem with this approach is that this is helpful in case if you want to mutate the original array. But in case if you want to make a copy of it, then you can use the wait method right now. So we have this, let's say, new people. And here what you will do is that so this is the syntax of this method. You will pass the index here and the value for the replacement. And then if I print this, you would see we still have the same result. But in case if I use this, if I use this people variable again, you will realize we don't have the replacement now because this method doesn't mutate the original value in this variable. So if I do this, I would print this together. So you will see in the new people we have the Jenny, but in the people we don't have the Jenny anymore because again this doesn't mutate the original array. This is very helpful in case you need to make a copy of the original array with the replacement of new value. So and let me know in the comments if you need to learn more about any method in this in the list, or in case if in JavaScript there are like 25 or 30 different methods. So let me know if you want me to make a different video or a separate video on the specific subject. So and thanks for watching.